Okay, geeks. Today, you get to look at future Eric and David. But in order to do that, we have to go back to the past. There will be name calling, talking about the one that got away, both in and out of the water. And of course, some what? Huh? What? So? Huh? What? That's right. Today, Eric and I are grumpy old men.
Man's crazy, loco, always hanging out around those kinky strip bars.
Anybody who's followed us through the past 42 episodes now, it's like Karate Kid, Terminator 2, like all Back to the Future, like all these iconic things like you were saying. And yeah, now grumpy old men, but it makes me, I kind of feel like I remember my grandpa loving Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon, my dad loving them, and I liking them. Like, I feel like it was this multi-generational thing that as much as Back to the Future is great and Terminator 2 is great, my grandpa didn't watch Back to the Future. Like, he didn't watch Terminator. Like, it was not this multi-generational thing. So there is something, this kind of charm that, at least in my family, 3 generations interested in these two comedic legends.
One of the running themes as you get older, as you start talking about how you die, who has what, oh, I have this, But do we do that? Do we go, oh, so-and-so's got this, or oh, I've got this week? Do we sound like grumpy old men already?
I don't feel like we talk about people dying, thank goodness. But I do feel like we talk about like being tired. I think one of the funniest scenes in this movie is when they're in the pharmacy together. And in my mind, it's the Jaws pharmacy scene is what it is, that they're comparing each other's ailments. I seriously laughed out loud and had to pause the movie so that I didn't miss any more dialogue when he says, shingles schmingles, when I had ulcers, and then looks around to check the pharmacy. I was farting razor blades.
I was farting razor blades.
Mount every woman in Wabasha and eat and drink what you want.
What's the problem?
I guess are the life lessons. And watch The Crow.
You forgot to do his hands. Like, he's like, mount the woman.
In Wabasha, some really great life lessons for young David and young Eric.
Well, it is. You're making a really good point, though, because like it actually is a great speech wedged in between 2 really funny lines that it's just like, he says that when you get this age, you begin to count the minutes and not the days. Yeah. And you realize pretty soon that you'll be gone. And then he says, and all you have is experiences. That's all there is, Johnny, the experiences. And then the very next thing is, you mount the woman, son.
Yeah, you mount the woman.
It's such a beautiful, impactful speech. And then it ends with a comedy zinger.
What? The first 90 years, I go by pretty fast. Yeah, but how would you know? You're just a damn kid.
These 2 truly grumpy old men who have been lifelong friends but disguise that friendship with sass and sarcasm, like in insults. Like they're 2 old guys from a generation where, you don't want to admit that, oh, I love this guy. Like they're not going to do that. They're just not going to do that.
You can have those hard moments and the soft moments. And that's a relationship.
Yeah.
And it's funny to think a movie about 2 80-year-olds taught young David and young Eric in a comedic way about that. Yeah. You break apart this movie, it is like an onion. There's a lot in between the insults. Yeah. And the pranks and all that. And that's why we're talking about it.
You got to read between the morons and the putzes.
And the putz and the schmucks and chicken livered schmear and all that.
Don't make me have to separate you 2 again.
You get Max in one of the most tearful moments going, they always ask friend or family. And he does it in the way he can make his face, and his eyes were like watering. It's like he says friend.
Friend.
And it was so beautiful and so well done. And even the fact that he goes into the hospital room after that and says, "Merry Christmas, John." And then whispers, "Moron." Like at the end, like the fact that he called him by name, but still had to be like, moron. Like it was just, it was so charming in that way.
Merry Christmas, John.
This will be one I show Harper and Mara down the road, and I think this will spark some like fishing interest, living in the Midwest. So there's a lot of just ways we can make this one live on too. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and I feel like it's nice that this episode, in a sense, is letting it live on as well. So for anybody that's made it all the way through this episode and did not see this movie yet, definitely
morons.
Go.
Oh, yeah,
Putz.
sorry, you geeks. Whoops.